Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Hall County Sports Television. I'm your host, Gary Glenn. And for this show, we're going to start it off the way we started off last week's show. We're going to talk some wrestling, particularly the state wrestling duels, the state championships down in Macon. And in Class 5A, Gainesville lost to eventual runner-up Woodland Cartersville 63-6 in the opening round, but then they came back to defeat Ware County 40-33 in the consolation round. Red Elephants then fell 51-21 to Cass, who finished fourth in 5A. Allatoona was third. Camden County won it all. They are the state duels champions. 220-pounder Cash Jones for the Elephants, though, went 3-0 on the beat. We bring to the show now Coach Nick Niezolowski, Coach Ski of the Red Elephants. And this was a big deal for you guys, wasn't it, to get back to the state duels championships?
Most definitely. I mean, as we were talking earlier, C.T. Hutchins, he was the last coach who took the Red Elephants, took us to the state duels, and that was every bit of 9-10 years ago. So to be back there, it's definitely a huge event. So.
It's taken you a while to get back, hasn't it?
Yeah.
As you said, 9 or 10 years.
Yeah. When I first took over at Gainesville, the program that CT had built was ruined, quite frankly. There were only 4 wrestlers there when I got there. And
wow.
So my first year team, I got the numbers up to about 15 committed guys. Second year, numbers grew into the 20s. And third year, we really started to see a lot of success. And by my fourth year, we placed at the region meet. So not too bad. Not
too bad at all. And you finished second in the area this time, which is why you qualified for state. So the program is kind of you figure back on track now?
Yes, I definitely say so. I mean, there's still a lot of work, just trying to get some of these younger guys to buy in. Our middle school program this year kind of took a huge blow because last year all who wrestled were 8th graders. So I've got all of them.
Yeah.
But that's good for me because I'll have them, for the next 4 years. So we should be fine. But if we can't get our feeding program going again, we'll definitely begin to suffer.
I was going to mention the fact, and I know that you work with Doug Thurman some over at Jefferson, and let me just say right now that Jefferson, coached by a former Johnson coach, Doug Thurman,
yeah.
And I coached Doug way back in the day when dinosaurs ruled the earth. But they continued their amazing streak, 14 straight duels championship in whatever classification they won. They won it in AAA this year. They've also won 14 straight individual championships, traditional championships, and they'll go for number 15 next month. That's amazing, but he has done that, hasn't he? He's got that feeder program going, and that's what you got to do. You got to get the wrestlers out, just like you get Little League baseball and Pee-wee football and little Pee-wee basketball and all that. Wrestlers have got to do that too, huh?
Oh, most definitely. There's a parent who, his name's Chris Hicks. Dustin Hicks, former state champ for Gainesville. Dane Hicks, former multiple state qualifier. And currently I have Daniel Hicks wrestling for me. So the Hicks, they're just a wrestling family. And his dad, for a number of years, he's been pushing me to get that feeding program going. But, honestly, I had other priorities. Now, praise God, those things have come in line, and so that's something I'm really going to start focusing more and more of my energy towards, is getting that feeding program going. So,
are you a better dual meet team than you are a traditional tournament team, Ski?
That's really tough to say. I would have to say we are definitely a stronger dual team right now. As far as the state meet would go, I perceive us taking at least 6. I want to say at least 6 to the state individual meet, and come away with 2 placers. So if we can do that, we'll still finish nearly top 16 in the state. So it's just right there.
But this was valuable for you because you're going to see some of these people, aren't you?
Yes,
you're going to see some of these people, even though you can monkey around with your dual meet lineup and monkey with the weight classes a little bit. But now you at least saw some of these people wrestle, and you know what to expect.
Most definitely. Woodland, Cartersville, Cass, Alexander, Ola, all your top-notch schools. Most of your better individual wrestlers are going to come from these great teams as well. There's some schools that didn't qualify in the state meet that have some stud individual wrestlers that we haven't seen, but I don't perceive them to be, from researching, looking around, asking around, I don't perceive them to be much better than any of the guys we've already seen.
So you're feeling pretty good then?
Yeah.
About the rest of the way? You actually have like 2 different seasons, don't you? Now?
Or
maybe 3. I don't know.
It's really rough, because you have 2 regions, 2 states, and then being at Gainesville, we're a football school. There's just no way around it. And I had nearly 20 football players come out this year.
Cool.
And so, once the football season ends, that's nearly a month after our season has already started. And so that's like 2 starts to the wrestling season, because I have one whole bunch who starts when we're supposed to start. And then a month later, I have nearly a whole other group, a whole other team that comes in that I have to get caught up to speed. And so the first couple of months for us is just rough.
Yeah.
And like with Hall County,
right,
being pushed forward.
And Gainesville always goes deep into the football playoffs.
Always.
So, yeah, that is kind of interesting. But you seem to get it done, and by the time the traditional meet rolls around, you should have them all in wrestling shape.
Right. I mean, second half is always when we really kind of pick up a lot of steam. We had hopes to win Hall County, and we were poised to do that, but I ended up having 5 starters just out, 3 due to injury, and then 1 other due to a death in his family, and another who caught the flu. So it's like, what can I do with those things? Those are totally outside of my control. And so we didn't have a good showing at Hall County, and it was what it was, and hopefully next year we can rebound and probably take it. So
and put it together when it counted at the area to qualify for the state.
And that's it. That's all that you say that to the guys, but all these other meets that precede region and state, they all matter because of seeding criteria. We went into region with absolutely no seeding criteria on the season. So it did kind of help us because I knew what kind of a lineup I had. So we kind of came in under the radar and, upset some teams. And because they hadn't seen all of what we had, they did not know how to adjust their lineup accordingly to, beat us. And, so we knocked down the number 4 seed, 3 seed, and 2 seeded team in our region to get a true second to advance to state. So,
well, looks like you got things going in the right way.
Hey, listen, I think so. We'll keep working at it.
Nick Mizalowski, Coach Ski, good luck at the state meet.
Hey, man, thank you, sir.
Okay, let's wrap up the information from the state wrestling duels. Now, in 4A, we talked with the North Hall coach last week. Well, North Hall blasted Cook 72-6 in their opening match, but then they lost to the eventual runner-up Northwest Whitfield in the quarterfinals. The Trojans dropped into the consolation bracket where they beat Crisp County 48-30, and then West Lawrence ended the Trojans' run 48-31. Perennial power Gilmer won 4A with Marist third and defending champion Buford fourth. And you'll remember that North Hall had beaten Buford in the area meet. Well, Riverside did not qualify for the state duels in AA, so the cadets held their own tournament, the Eagle Duels. And as a team, RMA went 3-2, and they finished third out of the 6 teams there. Individually, Nick Fernandez at 160 pounds and Alexia Joya at 170 both went 5-0 on the day. Well, we'll be back as we jump into the pool in just a moment. You've decided it's time to get in shape. Now let Falcon Parkway Fitness in Flowery Branch help you achieve your goal. Open since 2000, Falcon Parkway Fitness features free weights, exercise machines, group fitness classes, as well as personal training in a fun family environment with childcare, lockers, showers, and 24-hour access. Come by for a free consultation with a certified personal trainer. And just next door, check out Optimum Body Care Day Spa with massage, facials, and waxing, or K. Michael's Salon for hair and nail care. Falcon Parkway Fitness is your hometown family gym, located in Flowery Branch, right behind the public shopping center. We're back. I'm Gary Glenn, and this is Hall County Sports. We jump into the pool this segment with the Hall County Swimming Championships. And the defending champions won again. Riverside using a deep team to take the boys' side, 178-161 over Chestatee. And Flowery Branch won the girls' championship, 275-223 over North Hall. 7th straight time for the Lady Falcons to win the county meet. Branch also finished 4th in the boys' competition behind Riverside, Chestatee, and Gainesville, and that gave them the overall total, 400-316 over North Hall. The Eagles had only one individual champ, Andy Yap, in the 100-yard backstroke in a time of 54.8, but they used their depth to win it, and we bring to the show now Coach Mark Paglia, the Riverside head swimming coach and athletic director. Mark, thanks for being with us.
Pleasure, sir. Thank you for having me.
Tell me a little bit about this county meet now. It was a deep team. You only had one individual champion, but it was your depth that led you to win the championship.
That's absolutely correct. You know, we did not win any of the relays in past years. We've been able at least to win one or two of those relays, but it was really not only our A team doing well, placing either second or third, but our B relay, who also scores points, they place very high, sometimes fourth and fifth. When you have those relays, both relays doing well, that scores a lot of points. And then we had quite a few boys make it into the top 8, top 10 scoring-wise. That really helped us quite a bit in the points. Chestatee really outshined us as far as winning the events. They had some stellar swimmers. I think our numbers just really did it for us.
And I'm looking, too, more and more teams around and schools around are coming up with swimming teams now, Mark. And this is a whole lot tighter than it used to be, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I would say even 2 or 3 years ago, you know, I didn't want to say it was easy for us. Never easy, but we won pretty handily. And now everybody has stepped up their game. The swimming programs have really grown in all the Hall County schools and at Gainesville High School. It's a tight meet, and you know, I was counting points after every event. I was nervous. The boys kept asking me, "Are we winning? Are we close to winning? What do we have to do?" And when I told them that we had a chance, and after the 500, the 100 backstroke, I said, "You know, we're in the game. You guys have to do well the last couple of events, and I think we can pull this out."
So it was one of those situations where you didn't know until almost the last of the meet if you were going to win it or not.
That's correct. 17 points. It sounds quite a bit, but it really is not. And all we have to have is a misstep in a relay or a few events, and then, you know, it would have been Chestatee's easy.
Now, tell me a little bit about this. These meets serve as, you have to have qualifying standards for the state meet, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so how are you doing on that front?
Well, we're doing fairly well, best we've done in many years. We have all 3 of our relays that have qualified. There's only 3 relays in a swim meet. And then I have Kevin Reale is qualified in 2 individual events. I have Andy Yap, a 9th grader new to us, is qualified in 2 events. And then just this past meet, Kevin Muir, a senior, qualified in 100 butterfly, and Robert McMorrow qualified in the 200 free, and is very close to qualifying in another event.
That comes up next month, first of next month, right?
That's Feb 6 and Feb 7.
Is that Georgia Tech again?
Yes, it is.
Okay. How much of an advantage is it to you to have your own natatorium right there? I mean, this was contested at Francis Meadows, and I guess a lot of the schools use that now. It's a marvelous facility, but you got your own place.
We do, and it's quite an advantage, and I think that's really contributes to our depth. You know, we can get kids out there practicing every day without interruption. And it just brings popularity to our campus to have the pool and have such a nice pool. And it draws a lot of interest. Even boys who haven't been competitive swimmers before, they see the natatorium, they see the excitement of our program, they want to be a part of it, and it's very easy for them. You know, they don't have to get in a car or travel or swim at odd hours of the day. It's very, very convenient.
Talk to me a little bit about the state meet now. What's it going to take for you? You dominated the GISA League for so many years, but GHSA is a different animal. What's it going to take to make a splash at the state meet?
Well, we were a big fish in a little pond in GISA. Now it's turned on us, and you know, we do well. Kevin Reale placed last year in his events, and I anticipate he will do so again. And I anticipate Andy Yap will do place in his events. Last year we were 17th in our relays, which topped 16 place, so we just barely missed it last year. And our relays have really done well. We broke school records in all those relays, so I anticipate our relays will get in the finals. And I'm shooting for top 20 in the state, you know, and hopefully maybe closer to, you know, between 10th and 15th. That's realistic, because at the GHSA we compete against not only single A and double A schools, but 3A, 4A, and 5A And those are
Wow.
some big, powerful programs.
Wow. Yeah, that's.
Yes, sir.
But maybe as swimming takes off around the state, they'll break it out into classifications like they do in the
I
other
hope
sports.
so. I hope so. It really is a little bit discouraging for our boys to have to swim against those bigger schools. And it's nice to say that we swam against them, competed against them. But then again, it's nice to be able to compete against schools your own size and your own, strength. So, but it is what it is, and we'll do well.
Before you get away, one last, since you also wear the dual hat as the athletic director, anything exciting going on in Riverside Athletics over there?
Oh, I think, Gary Papka's taken over our wrestling program, and the participation level has more than doubled, and they're doing very well in wrestling. We have a new head basketball coach, Marvin Latham. He's doing a great job with our basketball program, but again, the situation for Riverside, as you know, is that we have to piece together our team sports like basketball, football, and baseball, and it's difficult for us to be competitive, and we're just adding pieces at the beginning of the year all the time. I anticipate our spring season will do real well, especially the tennis program. We have some outstanding tennis kids come in, and some of those fast kids we've had for football are going to be on the track team. So I think our track program will be real good this year.
All right, Mark. Thanks for coming in. Good luck to the
sir.
Eagles. Not only in swimming, but the rest of the way as well, and all the other
I appreciate
athletics.
it, sir. Thank you for having me.
Now, as we said on the girls' side, and overall it was Flowery Branch, again, the 7th straight time that the Falcons and the Lady Falcons have pulled that trick. And we bring to the show now Valerie Lancaster, who's the head coach for the Flowery Branch swimmers, boys and girls. And Valerie, congratulations again. You're starting this dynasty thing, huh, over there, at least at the Hall County level. So, and you only had, 2 individual champions, or two first places in the meet, right?
Right.
Who were those?
Sarah Robles in the 100 breaststroke, and then my 400 relay girls, they came in first and second in that relay.
But it was the depth once again.
It was the depth.
How many? You probably had bunches of seconds and thirds and fourths and stuff like that.
We did. We were able to put 4 athletes in almost all of the events, and most of the girls scored points in every event.
Let me look at the scores again. 275, 223 over North Hall, and then 400 to 316 over North Hall for the overall title. So North Hall finishing second on the girls' side and second overall. But these scores starting to tighten up a little bit, Valerie. More and more people are getting into swimming, right?
Right. The first year it wasn't even close, the numbers for the team title and for the girls' title. And each year it's gotten closer and closer as more kids in Hall County start swimming.
What has done that? Just more interest, more coaching, more qualified people?
Yes, I think that we're starting to get more year-round programs. Francis Meadows now has 2 quality year-round programs, and Swim Atlanta is nearby. And so those 3 programs are starting to definitely build the excitement, and these Hall County championships every year, the kids get more and more excited about swimming, and they get to see their local community come out and support them, so that helps a lot.
And we had Mark Paglia in earlier from Riverside. Of course, they've got their own auditorium,
That's nice.
but you guys, yeah, it is nice, and he said it's definitely an advantage. But you guys, you got to share.
Yes.
So when do you work out? What's your schedule like?
Well, at the beginning of the year, we weren't even sure we were going to have a place to practice.
Wow.
YMCA, they decided to start a program and told us that, even though they had promised us to swim, that they didn't have any room. So we were very, very fortunate that they found a way to let us in. But we practice at 7:30 at night, and we are there until 8:30.
Okay, and in an hour, I guess you do nothing but swim.
Right, and we only have 3 lanes for 30 kids, so it's very compact, and sometimes we only have 2 lanes. So, we do the best we can with what we've been given. So we were very, very excited about this year because we've overcome a lot of hurdles for this win.
For instance, what injuries, illness, what?
We've gotten the flu and the stomach bug quite a few times. We have had quite a few injuries this year, but trying to work out beginning athletes with your more experienced athletes in 2 lanes is a very difficult process.
Mm-hmm. But now, obviously, all of this, even though the Hall County Championship's nice, this is part of the qualifying for state.
Absolutely.
So how many guys and gals have you got qualified?
We have 2 individuals, and we have 2 of our boy relays have qualified, and all three of our girl relays have qualified.
And that's coming up once again at Georgia Tech.
Yes,
first
Georgia
weekend
Tech.
in February. Any more chances for folks to get in between then and now?
Next weekend we swim at Francis Meadows, and it's the last chance swim meet. And we have 2 girls in particular that are really pushing for that last opportunity to qualify.
Who do you think's got the best chance for you, or can you handicap? I mean, swimming is a very objective sport. It's like track and field. You look at the times, and
Right.
I know pools are different and tracks are different, but yeah, you can pretty much gauge how you're going to do. So, who you got that's going to be good for you?
Kel Waddell, he's really pushing those state times, and he's really getting his times are lower.
In what event?
In the 50 free, the 100 free, and the 100 butterfly. He still hasn't decided which direction he's totally going to go yet for that state meet. But every time he gets in the pool, he drops time and he inches up just a little bit more in the standings.
That's pool time, isn't it? That's competition too, and you can't simulate a meet in practice, can you?
Right. No, you can't. And at Georgia Tech, it's a prelims and then a finals. So that's something that they don't experience a lot either. They have to make it into the finals to get to swim in that big meet.
All right, Valerie, appreciate you coming in.
Thank you so much.
And good luck to the Falcons and the Lady Falcons and the meet coming up and also at state.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, we want to thank Mark Paglia and Valerie Lancaster coming in for our swimming segment. We head back to the hardwood, though, when Hall County Sports continues. Gary Glenn back here on the set of Hall County Sports Television with Rob Bruce, who is the pastor of McKelvey Road United Methodist Church. And Rob now involved in a new sermon series.
That's right, Gary. We have a new series called Where is God When? Where is God when the innocent suffer? Where is God when we have natural disasters? Where is God when we have accidents or personal tragedy or our marriage or our family falls apart? We'll be talking about these questions through the second week in February and love to have you as our guest.
All right, Rob, sounds like a good topic. We'll see you on Sunday.
See you Sunday, Gary.
We're back, Gary Glenn, Hall County Sports Basketball this segment. And before leaving for Alaska, one of last week's teams of the week, East Hall beat Franklin County 90-55 as Tristan Cooper and Kevin Davenport both hit for 19 and Jacqueline Hopkins 18. The Lady Vikings opened the night with a 74-43 win over the Lady Lions as reportedly every member of the team scored, led by Carly Winters with 14. Chelsea Adale was right behind her with 13, and Ashlyn Ellison and Jatasia Bailey added 11 apiece. Jenny Edwards big on the boards with 14 rebounds to go along with her 9 points. We bring to the show now Coach Justin Wheeler, the Lady Vikings head basketball coach. Justin, appreciate you taking time out to be with us. Got a pretty good season going so far. Got a winning record to begin this week at 10-7. So tell me a little bit about how you've approached this season after you ended the season on a pretty high note last year.
Yeah, we did. Last year we finished Sweet 16, lost to the state champs, St. Pius. They went on ahead to beat Buford. So we tried to put a positive spin on it. We told the girls we lost to the region champs, which was Buford. They went to the championship, and then St. Pius put us out. So we tell them we lost to the number 1 and the 2 team. So some of them think we're number 3, but I told them to hold your horses a little bit now. But we finished real strong last year, and we just tried to use that as a good foundation and kind of build off that for this season.
Okay, and this season now, it's been a little bit up and down for you. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about that.
A little up and down. To be honest with you, we think we played a pretty strong schedule. We lost a couple games we felt like we could have won, but we lost the Gainesville twice. Really good team. Lost to Providence Day in North Carolina. They won the state championship past 8-9 years. So the teams we've lost to, we lost to Banks on the road, which is a hard place to win. So the teams we've lost to, there's no disgrace in that. But we just try to, we had some really good wins too. Last year we lost a lot of close games. This year we won a lot of close games. So it really just depends how you look at it. And right now we're 10-7, just trying to have a strong finish.
Well, you did this last year, Justin. When you came out kind of slow and then caught fire there at the end and put it on. So maybe playing this type of schedule prepares you for tournament time.
Yeah, it really does. You play a strong team week in and week out, it can't do anything but make you stronger. If you keep coming back each week, each day, it will make you stronger. The only way it won't make you stronger is if you quit. If you don't quit, you keep playing, you'll get stronger, you'll learn from your mistakes, you'll make good plays. That'll give you confidence. So you got to take the good and the bad and just take all of that, combine it together. And just keep getting better.
You're pretty deep, too. I mentioned these names earlier, Carly Winters, Chelsea Dale, Ashlyn Ellison, Jatasia Bailey, Jenny Edwards. These are people who are kind of into your system now and they know what you expect.
Yeah, they do. I've been with them officially now for a year and a half. A couple of those names you mentioned, Carly Winters, Summer Lindsay, are young players. Ashlyn's a junior, Jenny's a junior, Chelsea's a senior, Jatasia's a senior. So we got a good mixture of youth and maturity, which helps a lot because you get to see different aspects of where they are in life and as basketball players on a day-to-day basis. But at the end of the day, they're teenagers, so they're going to be up and down. You just got to keep them. When they're too high, you got to bring them back down to earth. And when they're too low, you got to pick them up. And that you just got to do that on a day-to-day basis, on a weekly basis. And trust me, it's challenging, but then again, that's what makes it fun.
Yeah,
so.
It sounds to me like that's a lot like life, Coach.
Yeah, it is. That's what it is. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. All right, play this game with. Fill in the blanks. We're pretty good right now at this, but in order to make a run in the playoffs, we got to get better at this.
Execution. And I bet you're thinking execution at what? At whatever it is we need to execute. Executing the game plan.
But where are you good right now?
And following instructions. Right now, which wasn't the case at the beginning of the season. Right now, we're really good on defense.
Okay.
That'll carry you a long way.
Right now, we're trying to pick it up on offense, which in the beginning of the season, it was the opposite. We were really good on offense. We weren't playing defense. We weren't rebounding, we weren't boxing out. And then we focused more on defense. We got solid defensively, and then we lost the offense. So now we're trying to find that balance. And last game, we had a really good game offensively. We had a really good game defensively. So we're hoping we're fixing it. We're getting to that point.
All right. Well, getting ready to go down the stretch now, and you get into that other season of basketball. High school basketball's got about 3 or 4 different seasons. Yeah. You know, once you start, and then you get into the region play, then you get into the postseason. If you're lucky enough to get out of the region tournament, then you get another season there. So I hope you're ready by then.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Justin Wheeler, head coach of the East Hall Lady Vikings. Staying with East Hall right now, the Viking boys wrapped up their sojourn to Alaska on a winning note last week, beating Cypress Bay 68-62 in Anchorage to finish the Alaska Airlines Classic in 4th place. Kia Von Davenport topping off a strong tournament in the win, scoring 31 points and grabbing 10 rebounds for the Vikings, who are now 15-4 to start this week. Hopkins pitched in 17, Tristan Cooper scoring 10. Davenport had opened the 3-game tourney for the Vikings with a 32-point, 15-rebound performance and an 84-70 loss to East Anchorage. The Vikings bounced back in their second game with a 60-58 defeat of Colony, Alaska, Hopkins scoring 19. All right, in some other games, the Johnson boys went to 16-0 on the season with a 189 win over Buford. I heard some reports on that one, said it was a great game. Ty Cockfield poured in his then season-high 42 points. Rod English had 24 points. The Knights staying unbeaten with a 73-60 win over White County. Cockfield had 34, and English had 19 points and 7 rebounds, and Andrew Sims grabbed 13 rebounds and scored 6 points. Cockfield's season record didn't last long. He torched Appalachia for 46 points, and English added 24 more as the Knights came back to beat the Wildcats 82-76. Strangely enough, on the night, Appalachia's Kmar Baldwin also scored 46 points. Wow. Riverside Military Academy got back on the winning track, 65-60 over Social Circle, led in scoring by freshman Griffin Sewell with 19 points. Avery Cagle had 17 points in that one. But despite 26 points by Cagle and 17 by Sewell, Washington Wilkes beat Riverside 63-55. And finally, on this edition of Hall County Sports Television, reporting on the Times Cross-Country Athletes of the Year. Well, the paper picked them just this past Sunday in the Sunday paper. On the boys' side, it was Flowery Branch's Jake Schubert, a region champ and 4th at the 5A state meet for the state runners-up Falcons. Joining Schubert on the boys' first team were his Flowery Branch teammate, Grant O'Callahan, as well as Norwell Hall's Quentin Miles and Corson Teasley, Juan Ortega of Gainesville, and Junior Suarez of Johnson. For the girls, White County's Jenna Gearing, a region champ and 4th at the 4A state meet, was the cross-country athlete of the year, while Lindsay Grader of Chester T and Michaela Ellis of North Hall joined her on the first team. And you can join us right here next week for more Hall County Sports. I'm Gary Glenn.